But Mr. Dooley, what's the analysis? Gentlemen, we've got installment number 2 here. We're going to be looking at the role of women in the book of Judges. We'll highlight 2 specific episodes, that of Deborah and that of the daughter of Jephthah. Our objective is to appraise the role of females in the book of Judges. This is a new verb, appraise, that we're going to use, and I'll spend some time during this video outlining what I mean by appraise. As you can see, it's level 5, so we're up there. Our unit goal, again, we're going over the major motifs, movements, and models, both positive and negative, in the book of Judges. We'll have a mix today. And we're looking at how the book of Judges offers itself as an example or maybe an anti-example for modern readers to benefit from. First, number 1 on the exit ticket, I want you to be able to define appraise so that you have a very clear understanding of what I'm expecting for this objective. Then you'll tell the story of Deborah, that's going to be found in chapters 4 and 5, and the story of Jephthah and his daughter, which will be found in chapters 11. Finally, number 4 is where all the money is. You will appraise the role of females in the book of Judges. You'll look at these 2 examples. You'll be able to summarize them, you'll be able to analyze them, and you'll get to that high level of appraising. All right. So to appraise is to assess the value or the quality of something. It's when you say, well, on the one hand, we have this. On the other hand, we have this. And overall, this is what we can take out. So for that question number 4, I need you to be able to do that. I need you to be able to know the text, to ground your arguments in examples, and then to make an overall claim. We could call it a thesis statement, we could call it a conclusion statement. In this case, we're calling it an appraisal. Here are the positives, here are the negatives, here's what we come to overall. I am fine with you saying it's overall negative. I'm also fine with you saying it's overall positive. What I'm looking for is text-based, using examples and citations, and nuanced, meaning high-level, well-thought-through, not simplistic, understandings of females in the book of Judges. Why do we have this objective? This objective comes from experience teaching religion. So often we hear claims like the Bible is anti-women, the Bible is misogynistic, the Bible is patriarchal, the Bible has a low view of women. The Bible only holds up men as examples. I saw many of these, and you saw them when you did your atheist or non-believer interviews. Many people you interviewed cited this as a reason for not following or believing or trusting a biblical faith. The idea that the Bible only focuses on men and that women are not viewed, or when they are depicted, it's in a negative way. I need you to be able to have a nuanced and text-based appraisal of what is actually going on with women in the Bible. So let's hop right into our few examples. Chapter 4, we start off. Israel is in that cycle we talked about last time, that cycle of sin and disobedience, which is leading to oppression and slavery. In this case, they're being oppressed by a general named Sisera. He's talked about as having 900 chariots. And right away, we get our first important claim at the beginning of chapter 4. Deborah, that's a woman. She is described as a prophetess, and she is sitting as judge over the people of Israel. So she is the one that God is appointing to deliver Israel. Now, right away, this should make us question this idea that the Bible only holds up men as heroes. If a woman is right away being named as a judge, she's put in this role as deliverer. And so as the story goes on, Deborah will use the Israelite general Barak, and she will send him to go conquer Sisera and essentially free the Israelites from this oppression that is going on. And this happens. He'll go out into battle, and this foreign general, Sisera, will flee. And he will find his way to a foreigner's tent, and the woman there will invite him in to shelter him in the tent. So we have another woman in this story. And flash forward just a little bit. He will hide inside of a rug And this woman, actually described as the wife of Jael, we don't get her actual name, she will give him a glass of milk, and then as he is sleeping, she will pick up a tent peg, so a big nail, and a hammer, and she will put it in his temple and drive it through. So this woman will murder, take out of play, this foreign general who was oppressing the Israelites. So we have Deborah in this story who's telling the general of the Israelites, Barak, what to do. And we also have Jael. Now, what are the analyses here? One, you can't claim that the Bible never puts women in charge. Second, you can't really say that women don't have any particular action role. The wife of Jael is a main character. She is setting the tone. She is taking charge, taking matters into her own hands. She is not a side character. That's chapter 4. Chapter 5 will go into the Song of Deborah, and there's plenty here for you to look at. But first off, just an analysis is the Bible includes women's voices. Here are lyrics written by a woman as sung by a woman. So there are female voices in the Bible. This is not just purely influenced by men. All right, moving on. Oh, one second thing. This will also praise Jael, the wife of Jael, in the song. So not only is a woman writing this song, but other women will be praised in this song as positive exemplars. Okay, so now moving on to our second set of stories. Jephthah. Jephthah is described as the son of a harlot. So his father will have sex with a harlot, and he will be, as a result, kind of a black sheep among his brothers, and they will basically kick him out of their homeland. And Jephthah is described as going off to a foreign land and becoming the leader of a group of worthless fellows, so kind of becoming a leader of a bunch of bandits. And they'll gather around him and sort of form a gang under Jephthah. And finally, the people of Israel, specifically the tribe of Gilead, will ask Jephthah when they're being oppressed, hey, can you be our leader against the Amorites who are oppressing us? And Jephthah, as we would expect, is kind of like, well, you guys kicked me out. Why are you now having me be leader over you? And they say, well, we need your strength, we need your leadership, etc. You can deliver us. And he says, okay, but if I'm going to be the leader over you, I want you to officially recognize me. And so they say, okay, just deliver us from the oppression of the Amorites. And so Jephthah goes on his way, and he is going to do battle with the leader of the Amorites. And at the beginning before this battle takes place, he makes a vow. He says, Lord, talking to the God of Israel, if I win this battle, if you deliver the enemy into my hands, I will sacrifice the first person whom I see right after the battle. And we think, okay, strange vow, because he's vowing human sacrifice, which we know the God of the Israelites is very, very opposed to. So this goes back to the theme of these judges are not morally perfect. They themselves are influenced by the nations that surround them. The nations of the Amorites, the Amalekites, and all of these people, these Canaanites who live in the land, they practice human sacrifice. And Jephthah, who's been a foreigner to his own people living among them, among a bunch of worthless fellows, has clearly been influenced by them. And as a result, he'll win the battle. God will deliver the enemy into his hands, and this is recognized. And he'll carry out his vow. And the first person he will see upon returning from the battle is his own daughter. And so we have this next instance of a woman being a victim of a man's vow. In this case, it's his daughter. And she is depicted as saying the following: do with me as you have vowed. She is obedient to her father's ridiculous vow. And so she spends 3 months wandering around with her friends as sort of a stay before she gets human sacrificed. And then it says he went through with his vow. She allowed herself to be sacrificed. Even though God was not asking for this, we know that the God of the Israelites is opposed to human sacrifice. And it's mentioned right at the end of chapter 11 that the women of Israel spend 4 days each year mourning Jephthah's daughter. So this girl who was sacrificed So the Bible will portray in the book of Judges this strange two stories within this story of Jephthah. One of a girl being sacrificed, two of the people, the women of Israel, mourning her for 4 days each year. So I want to go into our analyses. Let's dig deeply. What does the book of Judges offer modern readers regarding women? It offers a whole lot. We see women as leaders, as action heroes like Jael's wife in the tent peg. We also see them as victims of an oppressive culture, but also as key characters in the customs of the cycles of Israel, of mourning, of rejoicing, of singing, of retelling the tales. So we've heard the Bible be claimed as anti-women or misogynistic or only holding up men as heroes. We know that on a very basic level that this is untrue. However, we also know that the Bible has many victims that are women. There are negative portrayals in the Bible. I want you to be able to think of some and to be able to hold those up. But also there are positive portrayals of women in the Bible, just using material that we've gone over thus far. So everything from Genesis to Judges is fair game for this exit ticket. I want you to be able to appraise the role of females overall. All right. That's it for session number 2. Looking forward to seeing you guys next time.